Hey YouTube, what's going on? Recording this on my phone again because I just feel like it and it's a lot easier. Now, just for the recent episode, Cold War, I was in love with it. I loved the episode. I loved everything about it. The dialogue, once again, was amazing. The characters are really cool. I love the setting. You know, the submarine, 1980s Soviet submarine. That was really interesting to see. Kind of those, those outfits and those uniforms, and the kind of demeanor and the actors they picked were really kind of Russian looking, but it was all British, and that's something that I'll talk about here in a second. But first off, I'm just going to name the major things I liked, major things I didn't like, and then the wishy-washy stuff at the end. Main things I didn't like, starting off with, because there's not very many. I didn't, probably also spoilers by the way, I didn't like how at the end of Cold War it showed the Ice Warrior take his helmet off and you got to see what his head and face looked like, but it was really bad CG. That was not cool. I didn't like that. I didn't like that there wasn't any. I mean, this is just a minor thing I can deal with not liking this. I didn't like that there wasn't them in the TARDIS at the beginning of the episode. How they kind of were introduced into the episode was amazing, by the way. But I didn't like how it didn't show the TARDIS, because I just love seeing the new TARDIS. I love everything about it. It's really all I can think about not liking. Everything I did like, though. Like I said, I love the setting. I love the dialogue. I loved, like I said, the introduction of them, like how they just show up and he thinks he's going to Las Vegas and he's in the submarine. That was really funny, him having the Elvis Presley sunglasses on. That was cool. I liked how in the beginning of the episode it kind of made us think he was going to overuse the Sonic again, and then it got knocked down into the water, and he didn't have it for the rest of the episode, that was cool. It was like a lot at the beginning, and everyone's like, oh, he's gonna overuse it again, and then it kind of just got knocked in the water. The TARDIS kind of, I like how in this new season he's being more conscious of the TARDIS falling into the wrong hands. How it kind of got it left because it was in danger. I liked that. I liked the kind of cheesy but still pretty freaky idea of the Ice Warrior leaving his suit of armor, and how it would like grab people's face, and it was like puppet hands. That was really cool. It was kind of low budget, but I enjoyed it. It was kind of silly, but I liked it. I loved the interaction between the professor or the scientist or whatever his name was and Clara. How he was like, let's sing a song, you like Duran Duran, and she's like, I'm not singing. That was funny. I love how in this new season also how he introduces things to them, and there's always some people enjoy the Doctor explaining things that he's explained a million times over, but I'm kind of tired of it. And I love how these days there will be something presented and she'll be like, what's going on? And he'll just be like, this is happening, and that's it. There's not like a huge speech about it. It's just like, oh, by the way, whenever she realizes that everyone's Russian, and she's like, I don't speak Russian. Wait, am I speaking Russian? And she looks at him, and he goes, not right now. And she's like, but they're Russian. And he's like, seriously, right now? The TARDIS Matrix. The TARDIS translation Matrix, and that's it. That's the whole explanation for the entire episode, which was like this little exchange that was really funny. They did a good job with that. I loved how they tied in the original general, from the classic series, not just the idea of the Ice Warriors, but actually the general himself. That was a big deal. It was like, oh my god, the most celebrated general that we've known before, or we've known of before, just through referencing. Let's see, what else did I like? I liked at the very end whenever he's like, it's at the pole, and she goes, oh, it's not that far away, and he goes, the South Pole, and they have to, I really like the humor of this new season. I like the writing. I enjoyed this one a lot more than Rings of Akhaten, even though Rings of Akhaten I did do the re-review and ended it ended up being a pretty okay episode. I give this episode, Cold War, an 8 out of 10. Just because it had everything I liked. It had this kind of horror aspect of it. It had the Doctor being a bunch of different, Doctor, like, having different personalities that we really like to watch. Clara, how for a while she's been acting like the Doctor doesn't really faze her. But whenever she messes up, kind of, and lets the thing get out, she's talking to the Professor, and she seems kind of sad, and I think it was because she kind of felt like she let the Doctor down a bit, which is an insight into her character, kind of making her a little more vulnerable and understandable. But yeah, overall, great episode. I'm very, very much looking forward to the next one, Hyde, because it looks like kind of a ghost story and like paranormal investigators and things like that. I know that the worst part of the episode, though, the worst part of any episode of Doctor Who is the CG. They really need to learn how to work around that. They really do, because the Cantina setting for the last episode was spectacular and mind-boggling. And then they had that horrible Flash Gordon chase scene, which just kind of blew it all for me. And in this episode, like I said, the Ice Warrior's head that was CG kind of blew it for me. But not the entire episode. I really did enjoy this episode. So yeah, next week I'll be reviewing Hyde, either Saturday or Sunday. And stay tuned. Bye.